hello, I'll start. Does anyone remember the Amazon rainforest wildfire that happened in 2019? It's pretty drastic, pretty big thing. That fire burned more than 5.4 million acres, not 310,000. My bad. Which is a lot. In other words, very harmful to the land, people, and the wildlife involved. The wildfires that have been happening in Montana recently are substantial in similar ways. So today I hope you can learn about the severity of wildfires, as well as the health concerns, the action steps that can be made to prevent them, and how they are negatively impacting the farmers in the surrounding areas. I've seen the economy struggle since I was young, coming from a very political family, and it's taught me a lot, allowing me to give this speech today about how crucial it is to take care of our environment. First point I would like to make, in order to support my topic, contains important information about farmers, their lands, and why their lands need to be protected. I'll just show, how do I'll explain these first. So basically the one on the far over there, that is just like a good old forest fire, definitely not even near being contained. And this is a farm wildfire, which I'll get more in depth, and that's just livestock, which is at risk. Some of the biggest wildfires began raging in 2017, burning close to 1 million acres from January to June in America alone. More specifically in Montana, there's been about 25 to 35 fires in 2021, and the year's not even over. Often initiated from high dry temperatures to strong gusts of wind in the forests and farmlands nearby. Even if farmers put loads of effort forth to maintain their lands, if there's a dry spot, it can be very detrimental to their farm. Burning thousands of acres worth of crops and putting the economy in a tough spot. Production agriculture is vital to the Montana economy, and the U.S. Department of Agriculture wants to be ready to assist in the recovery if anything goes wrong, especially extreme drought conditions, which is another way these fires are happening. Helping Montana farmers will further help the economy, and I don't know if any of you guys are majoring in ag, but if you are, then hopefully this is a helpful presentation. I'll do this video. Can I click on this? Okay. This is a video, I don't know if it'll work, just really quickly. So basically when you have a farm,
major wildfires.
I'll explain it.
Miles and seconds. They're out there on their own. The big fire resources are a long ways away, and they don't have time to wait.
Okay, so that's just this. His name is what does it look like? Okay. His name is Walter Schweitzer, and that wasn't his land, that was his neighbor's land. I say neighbor lightly because the closest neighbors when you have a farm can be like 50 miles away, 100 miles away. But basically, that leads into the next point about his quote. So basically, he's just talking about like, that's your life in your herd, you invest your life into your ranch, and to see it go up in smoke is like, very sad. Buildings can be rebuilt, you can buy hay if you have to, but it's hard to replace a livestock herd or a home with everything inside. So it just kind of explains like how it's very scary when your land is burning. A question a lot of people ask is how farmers help the economy exactly. So agriculture and its related industries, things like food sales and other industries that wouldn't exist or would be much smaller without agriculture, contribute approximately $1.05 trillion to the U.S. GDP, or the U.S. gross domestic product. This puts agriculture's contribution to the overall economy at about 6%, which is everything collectively, 6% is quite a lot. What should farmers do to prepare for wildfire season? So common farmstead hazards include, like Walter said, you're really close from resources, and you're really far from resources, and you're really far away from like paramedics and everything. So remoteness from fire departments and water supplies for firefighting is just not good. And if you have intentions to build a farm or move to a farm, just make sure that resources like paramedics and or firefighters are close, so it can be quickly put out if one starts. Also, composting and storage of flammable liquids, hay, and livestock bedding. Just keeping these things secure will help prevent the spread of fires. Even though farmers provide for the economy, and the economy needs to thrive in order for the world to function properly anyway, making sure sure that people are safe is a whole other concern. So now I'll be talking about smoke inhalation, which is caused from wildfires, which is a big health risk if you live in like remote dry areas. Even if you live in the city, like in California, I know that it can still reach the city. So now I'll be talking about the health concerns. So basically, I'll just explain these really quickly. So that one over there is a man who's rescued, and now he's in recovery, which is probably really hard for him to breathe right now. And this is a man with COPD, which is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Wasn't caused from a fire, but this is what your life can look like. You're constantly going to be hooked up to tubes and doing breathing treatments and everything. So when you breathe in dangerous particles and gases, this is known as smoke inhalation, obviously. Inhaling toxic smoke can irritate your lungs and airways, causing them to enlarge and obstruct oxygen flow. People with asthma or underlying respiratory problems like COPD, maybe at high risk because their bodies aren't equipped to handle chemicals that strong in their lungs. Smoke inhalation recovery differs from person to person depending on like your history and like your health problems, but it also just relies on how well your lungs were before the accident. If you were in one, your lungs will take time to fully heal, and you'll probably continue to have shortness of breath and tire and get worn out way easier. If you're close to a fire, just be aware that the things I just listed are very dangerous and should be taken seriously. As we all know, this can all be avoided if we do what we can to prevent fire. So next I'll be talking about action steps and prevention methods that you should use or just be aware of so that not as many wildfires happen. So the first thing, I'll get to that in a second. So one thing you can do is you can build your campfire if you're camping in an open location and far from flammables. Many people like enjoy going camping and basking in the warmth and light of the campfire, but if you don't construct and extinguish your campfire properly, it can spark a fire. So just be really careful of that. Another thing you can do is keep your vehicles off of dry grass. So in this picture over there, that's a fire caused from a burnt exhaust pipe. That's like literally all it takes. If you're off-roading, your exhaust can reach temperatures of 1,000 degrees or higher. So really, really hot. So just be careful of that. And then another thing you can do is check the conditions and regulations before you use fireworks. So this is Table Rock, Idaho. Beautiful part of Boise, Idaho. My friend actually had to get evacuated from her house because this was getting really, really close to her house. It was really scary. She's fine, but yeah. Every year in the United States, fireworks spark over 19,000 fires and send over 9,000 people to the emergency room. So I just suggest that before you use them, make sure that you checking like city, local, federal rules, because different states, counties, and towns have different like restrictions on them. And do your research ahead of time. If you do that, you could save a lot of money, because unlawful firework use and the cost of fighting a wildfire, those can be up to thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, depending on how big the wildfire got. I don't actually know, like the aftermath of this they got it out eventually. I don't know what happened to the teenagers that caused it though. But that's from them using fireworks up on the top, and then they just left through a road and then didn't do anything about it, which is kind of sucky. So every year wildfires are putting people and the economy in a tough spot. So today I just hope that you learn more about the health concerns caused by fires, the economy's lifeline, which is farmers, in some ways, and the steps that can and should be taken to prevent fires all around the state. And just know if you're taking these prevention steps that you're not only saving yourself, but you could be saving a whole population of people or an entire city. And this is just beautiful Table Rock now. So they're planting trees, they're planting bushes, and it's getting better. And that's my speech.
Good. Yeah.